Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. So in this video, we're going to discuss Leetcode problem of the day, and today's problem is divide array into arrays with max difference, and it is a medium level problem. So the problem basically says that we have been given an integer array of size n and a positive integer k. We have to divide the array into one or more arrays of size 3. So this is very important that the array size should be 3 and there can be multiple arrays that you have divided your original array into. Now we have to satisfy the following condition. Each element of num should be present in exactly one array and the difference between any two elements in the array is less than or equals to k. Right. Now we have to return a 2D array consisting of all the arrays, and if it is not possible to satisfy the requirements, we just have to return an empty array like this. Right. Now we were given certain thing. Yeah. So n is a multiple of 3. This is for sure, and this is also very important. Now this question might seem a little bit difficult, or it might seem like you will have to do a lot of work, but once you understand one simple fact, then it will be much easier to solve, right? So first of all, we need to understand that we need to create arrays of size which are strictly 3, right? So not greater than 3, not less than 3. Now they said that the difference between any two elements should be less than equals to k, right? So let me write it as dx. So if the difference between any two elements can be less than equals to k, can I also say like the difference between the biggest and the smallest element should be less than equals to k, right? So let's say this is the smallest element, this is the biggest element, there are some elements in between, right? I'm not talking about an array of size 3. Let's consider any general array where you have a smallest element, you have a bigger element, and you'll have some values between them. You can take the difference between any of these values, right? This difference will always be smaller than this particular difference. So if the difference between the smallest and the biggest element is less than equals to k, that means all the other differences will always be less than equals to k, right? So our primary objective is not to satisfy for any 2 points, we just need to satisfy this condition for the smallest and the biggest value, right? Now let me just write the original array in sorted order. So 1 1 3, then I believe 3, then 4, then 5, then 7 8 9. So I have written 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 values, right? So let me check 1 2 3 4 6 7 8 9. Yeah, so we have 9 values in the original array, and this sorted array also has 9 values. Now if you carefully observe, I can try to pick these elements like this, right? So that means elements in a group of 3 from the sorted array. And why is this always true? Let's say I'm just saying that this is going to be the optimal distribution, and now let us see why is this always true. So let's say I did not take this particular 3, right? I did not take this particular 3, and I did not take this particular group like this. So let's say the first group is this one. So let me write it with a different color. So let's say this is group A, and group A, and let's say this is group B, group B, group B, right? So what I have essentially done is I have taken elements that are not together, right? So as I always said that if you consider the difference between these two elements and then you consider the difference between these two elements, since this is a larger element, this difference is always going to be greater than the previous difference. Similarly, if I just write it, if you consider this particular element and this particular element, right? So this was supposed to be the original starting element of this particular group, right? So let's say this is dx1, and consider the difference between these two elements, which is the new starting point of the second group. So this is dx2. We know since this element is smaller than this particular element, in this case it is not smaller, it is equal, but if the array is sorted, it is only going to be smaller or equal, right? Let us consider a case where this element is smaller, then dx2 is always greater than dx1, right? Or in this particular case it is equal, since both of these elements are equal. So what I'm saying is dx2 is always greater than equals to dx1. So from here we understand that when we try to break the groups like this, our difference is only going to increase. So if earlier it was less than equals to k, then it is well and good. But if earlier it was not less than equals to k, if the initial distance was dx greater than k, then changing the groups might not help us in any way, because the difference is always going to increase from here. It is never going to come back to less than k, right? So this is what I wanted to say. If the difference is already less than equals to k, then it is well and good. But if it is greater than k, changing your groups in any form is not going to bring it back, right? So that is exactly what I've done here. I just sorted the array and just formed groups of size 3 like this, right? All the 3 consecutive elements. So if I show you my code, you can clearly see I've sorted the whole nums array and I've created a double dimensional answer vector. Now I'm just going to start traverse to the array. So I'm starting from 0 and I'm incrementing each position by 3. Each time I is incremented by 3. So if nums of I plus 2, that is the third element in the group, and minus nums of I is greater than k, that means the difference between the biggest and smallest element is greater than k, I'm just going to clear the answer vector and just return the answer vector. So why do I have to clear? Because during the process I might have added some values to the answer vector. So before returning, I just need to clear it. This is because I have found an invalid configuration. That means I cannot form a valid sequence of values or subarrays. That is why I have to clear the answer vector and return it. Now otherwise, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push back a new vector, that is nums of I, nums of I plus 1 and nums of I plus 2. Right. So these will be the 3 values that you need to push back as a new subarray. Now at the end, I'm just going to return my answer vector and this would be the complete solution. So let me just quickly submit this and show you that this particular code works. So you see this possible test cases and the solution is absolutely correct. I hope that you guys were able to understand the solution. If you guys did, then consider dropping a like on this video and don't forget to share thoughts in the comments, because your engagement with this particular video really helps the YouTube algorithm to understand that this video is actually helpful for you and will be able to reach much more people like you who want to keep solving new problems. So that is it for today. Till the next video drops, keep coding, stay safe, bye bye.